Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide podcast, where we discuss your favorite marble sports. We bring you in-depth analysis of each event across many different marble sports competitions. Catch all the information and drama you want to hear about your favorite players, teams, events, and more right here on the MSW podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Marble Sports Worldwide podcast. My name is Brendan.
And I'm Commander Wolf.
And we have a cool episode for you today. I'm just saying that because I don't have a cool story to give you guys for this particular intro. So I just noticed I do that. I was noticing that. I was noticing my intro habits going back into earlier episodes as I prepare for the special coming up. For those of you who don't know about the special is going to be episode 25, which is after 24 and before 26. And this particular special is going to recount clips from all the first 24 episodes, which is going to be a lot shorter of an episode than you think, because they're short clips. But just recalling the best moments. We have a lot of people working on that. Shout out to them. They'll definitely be credited afterward. But, you know, I had to go back and I had to find some cool clips, and I was listening to my earlier intros. And I didn't have anything interesting to talk about when I introed. So I just ended up saying, welcome to the podcast, and then I ended up being like, I pretty much repeated that. repeated myself for 10 minutes and before I started talking about whatever topic it is, which is funny. So I like that one time, one of the first times I had Waff on, and then he's like, I did the intro, and he's like, and I'm Commander Wolf, and then I was just like, yes, he is. That was what I said next. So definitely interesting to see some of my intro habits. I try to change it up, try to keep it interesting, try to provide a story if I got one, but I don't always have one. So, we do the best we can. Anyways, the announcement that I want to make during this intro is about the special and about the fan involvement that I plan on trying to integrate into this special. Because we have, we have all those clips, and we have a couple bonus segments planned. One of them we are not going to reveal at the moment, but the other one is going to be a fan-based bonus segment. And the way this is going to work, if we get some fan responses, if we get some, love shown from our listeners, would be to have recordings of the fans talking about the podcast, just 30 seconds, saying about what you like about it or your favorite moment or something like that. So what I'm planning here, and you can do this as soon as you want to or as late as you want to, just, within the next couple of weeks if you're so inclined, is for anyone out there who has a favorite moment or just has something to say about the podcast, grab a mic, recording thingy, whatever you want, as long as it doesn't rape my ears or Waff's ears, and just record anything between 15 milliseconds to 1 minute, talking about maybe, state your name so that we know who you are, or whatever name you want to use, and then just say something about the podcast. Maybe you love the podcast, maybe you remember a specific moment from an earlier episode that you really like, and you just want to talk about it, and we will likely appear in the episode 25 special for that bonus segment. So there's that. You can submit a recording of yourself. Or if you have a particular moment you found funny, interesting, important, blah, 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 over the last 24 episodes, you can email us about that at mswpodcast@gmail.com. That is mswpodcast@gmail.com. And tell us, episode whatever, I remember this moment. If you have a timestamp, great. If you just remember the description of the moment, great. We'll find it. And we'll shout you out and throw that moment into our segments, into our clips compilation or compilation?
Compilation.
Yeah, we won't do spelling on that one. But yeah, so pretty much record yourself talking about the podcast, remember a moment, and in either one of those, just send them to mswpodcast@gmail.com, and you will be appearing in the episode in some way. That would be a great help because we know we have many regular listeners, and we want to include you guys' interaction in our special. Yeah, that's pretty much the announcement. Mr. Waff, anything interesting that you want to add to this intro?
Not really. I mean, like,
He never has anything.
The only, I guess, I have a small story, I guess, of something that happened recently. I don't know. Like,
All right, sure, yeah.
all right, so it's not really like, actually interesting, but like so it for any of you who like know something about Texas is that it's in Tornado Alley, so it's actually has one of the highest likelihood places in the world to get tornadoes, and so we had one, and it was like maybe like a 30 minutes down the road from me, and like it's the closest tornado's ever been to my house before, so.
Oh man.
Which is kind of interesting. I've lived here for my entire life, but I've never actually been that close to a tornado before. And so like it tore up a lot of roads. Like 5 people went to the hospital who were injured, but it didn't kill anybody. So that's pretty nice. Like I think it was a Category 1 tornado, so it was pretty low on the scale. So not.
Oh wow.
But it tipped some cars, tore up some roads a little bit, and so it.
No, nothing major.
Yeah,
right?
Nothing major. It was a very there was no like loss of life as far as I'm aware. So, I guess like for the few people who probably who knew that I lived in Texas from the past episodes, like there's no need to worry. Like I'm completely fine. Nothing happened to my house.
That's crazy. That's funny though, because like, not funny, but kind of funny in the sense that, when you think of a minor tornado, like something that's not really a big deal, you're like, oh yeah, flips a couple cars, tears up a couple roads, and you're like, well, what are you gonna do, right? But like if something like that happened where I live, because I live in New Jersey, so it's a not a tornado place, it's in the north more and stuff. If that happened in our state, I was trying to say city, but it's definitely a state. It would be a big deal if like something flipped over a car, if weather flipped over a car. It'd be in the news. It'd be like, whoa, oh my God, it's the end of the world. So it's crazy that the different perspectives, and that was cool. That was cool. I've never been close to a tornado, so I'm glad you're still alive because I need a co-host.
Yeah, it was really windy. Even though I was far away from it, the winds and the storms came all the way down here, and it was super loud.
That's so cool, though. That's so cool. Close to some big weather. Anyways, so that slice of Mr. Waff's life, that was interesting to you. I'm glad it was interesting to me. I liked it. Anyways, I think without further ado, I think we should just go to the news.
Hello, Marble Sports fans! I am Johnny Marble here, as always, with the Marble Sports Worldwide News. So race 4 of the Sand Marble Rally released this past week, and unfortunately, there were many DNFs again. H2 Blue, Polo Loco, Quicksilver, Black Knight, and even the Ghost Marble, man, they were all part of these DNFs and did not finish the race. On the other hand, though, El Capitan achieved his first gold of the season, and Slimer received his first silver. And it just so happens that these two marbles were 2 of MSWP's Draft League picks. so good for them for showing out. Ghost Plasma and Dragon Egg rounded out the top 5, respectively, and my boy Red number 3 tries to rebound from the previous DNF, taking 6th place. Now to the overall standings, Blizzard Blaster, El Capitan, and Super Ball are all tied for first place with 43 points. The only separator being that Blizzard Blaster has 2 medals, silver and gold, while El Capitan only has a gold, and Super Ball, just a bronze. But Red number 3 is still very much in, if you're wondering, holding out 4th place with 41 points, and Ghost Plasma right behind him, in the top 5 with 39 points. Now in other news, Marbula 1 team reveals have begun, and the first reveal of the 16 competing teams is the Savage Speeders, and the second, the O-Rangers! Woo! Ha-ha! That was a weird laugh. Disregard that. But MSPN's M Games will likely see the release of Event 2 soon, and Marble for Becca still waits for the new studio to be built. But hey, that's all for the news this week. I've been Johnny Marble. You guys have been great. You know what else has been great? The entire podcast team. Give them a round of applause. I'm sure they can hear you. Thank you for joining me. Let's take it back to Brendan. Continue with the podcast.
Welcome back from the news, everybody. Thank you, Johnny Marble, for updating us on this week's exciting Sand Marble Rally race. Obviously, an exciting new race. Always exciting. Always. Okay, once JMR produces an episode, rarely is it not a joy to watch. We have a guest on today for episode 22. A guest that's come on all the way back in episode 4. How far have we come? Damn. The Lucky Titan. Welcome to the Lucky Titan.
Hi, thanks for having me.
You're welcome for having you. We'd love to have you on.
It's nice to finally be on the
You've been a
episode
pretty
with you,
loyal
too.
listener.
I wasn't here way back then, so this will be my first episode with Titan.
Yeah. WAF was not added to the team until the later parts of the podcast. Later, like 6, 7, episode 7.
6 is when I first
don't know.
guested, but I wasn't the official co-host until 10.
Yeah, I know. It took me some time. I had to really feel out. Do I want the WAF on here? But you know what? I'm
can't
glad
handle
I made
the
a good
WAF.
decision on this. Can I write that down? Write that down.
I will.
Now.
You know, I'll go ahead. I'll do it right now because it's before I forget
You
it.
can't handle the woof. And write it down with 2 O's because you said woof instead of WAF. So I want it to be clear that you messed up your own name.
I did not mess up. My name has always been pronounced Woof. I always do that for the intro. You're the one who mispronounces it as Waff.
But it is
It's
WAF.
not WAF.
And
It's
like
not WAF.
When it's not
I
WAF,
ca-
it's like you said. It's
I came up with the name. It is Woof. It's like
Wait, no, but
removing
you know.
L from wolf and then saying it like really quick, like a woof. Like we talked about this at one point.
But it's saying quickly.
woof.
Hey, I don't know. There was a clip where he explained this back in like episode 7, 8, or 9. If Justin hears this, play that now.
I don't know if it was on the air or
Alright, did
not.
that play? I don't
I think
know.
it was off the air. I'm pretty sure, but like
If it did not play,
Yeah.
then sorry. But pretty much, I remember him explaining that the way it is that it's Mr. Waff, and there's 1 O. That's why it's Waff when you read it. And the reason it's Waff instead of Woof is because when he pronounces it, he says Woof instead of Woof. So if you're gonna go with the Woof, you have to go with Woof. Like you're actually woofing.
I think that's the first quote of mine that I've had to write down. Like I only written down quotes from you. I had never written down one from me.
Hey, everyone gets their time in the
Yeah, I
spotlight.
guess so.
Titan. Anyway, Titan. What are your thoughts on Mr. Waff's name?
Well, I always think of it as waff, not woof, because it's 1 O, not 2.
Actually, I don't think I've ever told the story of how on air of how I got my name. You know what? Why don't we do that just to explain how this all happened?
Oh, Killian, mark this
All
one
right,
down.
okay. So, all right. So, in middle school, or sorry, not middle school, high school, I had a friend of mine, like a good friend. He basically he made like a joke with me, like the joke you probably heard, like, what do you call a fish without an eye? A fish. And in the same room, like around that same time, someone was playing Magic the Gathering, and they played a card called the Wolf card, which is, if you see my icon, is the same art design that I use now. And so,
Oh, that's for that crazy.
yeah,
wolf
and so
came
when
from.
I looked at I saw the card, and for some reason in my mind, like I looked at my friend, like, hey, what do you call a wolf without an L? A wolf. And I thought that was so funny. I don't know why I thought that.
Oh my God.
I don't know why I thought that was funny. It doesn't work the same
my
way as
God.
fish because it's not like L's aren't a part of like the body. But you know what?
No doubt.
Like pre-adult me thought that was hilarious, and he thought it was funny too because he laughed at it. And then I don't know how this happened, but the commander part of my name. So I think around the time we learned about North Korea recently, we saw a documentary about how they have like the electric fence surrounding it, and so we came up with the idea like I was like we had an army of wolves, but we call them woofs, and like I was a commander, and then he was the general, and so like we had them like invading North Korea to take down Kim Jong-un.
Oh my God. Oh, so it became Commander Woof.
Yeah, that's where the commander part of the name came from. I don't remember what led to that happening and the idea of an army of wolves, but that is what happened. And it's stuck ever since. I've used that name for everything. It's so unique and it's so special that I can be certain that no one else has used it.
That is a great story. That will be remembered. Welcome, by the way, Smartwater, to the live chat. You have the dedicated listener role, so you must be known. I don't remember your name though.
It's Brendan.
Maybe you change your username. Oh, it's Brennan. The
Oh,
other Brendan guy.
okay.
I was wondering.
I was very
Like,
confused.
Smartwater.
Well, welcome back, Brendan.
Anyway, back to the Lucky Titan, because he's our guest, and we've been taking up his time. Anyways, Lucky Titan. We wanted to talk some Sand Marble Rally, and you said you had some cool talking points. So, do you want to bring up one of the talking points that you had?
Yeah, I was, I heard that, so episodes 3 and 4 of the, Sand Marble Rally were the same track, and it just seemed to create a lot more chaos in that part where there are, like, a lot of, like, the helices that just, like, kept going
helices.
on. There's just a lot of chaos there, and that was, really seemed different from a lot of the other episodes, which are very, like, not as much crashing out.
Yeah, that's actually a real good point. Always gets back to our point that we've made in multiple episodes, if you go back. And did we name one of the episodes after this? But talking about the controlled chaos.
Yeah, we did.
That adds to the marble sports
That
situation.
was I think that was our episode with our first episode with Hershey, and like that was our first quote, if I'm not mistaken. The controlled chaos.
Right, yeah, I think so. I'll have to check that. But it's just... So here's the thing. Okay, you have to think about the perspectives that people will look...
Oh my
Sorry, I'm
gosh,
drinking some
Brendan.
water right during my sentence.
So professional.
Yeah, oh my gosh, right? Yeah, well, you know what? It's a podcast. It's a casual situation, talking with some awesome guys. All right, so... You have to consider the points of the perspectives as people watch this video. Some people are going to sit there and be like, okay, the fact that 5 marbles DNF'd at that same spot, by the way, Titan, you were right. That particular spot with the helices, if you guys remember from the race, it's kind of like 3 or 4 in a row of that back and forth kind of sidewinding action where the two tracks kind of cross over. There were like 5 DNFs there in one of the races and 4 in another. I mean, a lot in that particular part. And a lot of people
4, there were 3.
running. Oh, which one? Oh, there were 3 in episode 4.
In
and
episode
then how many
3,
in
there
episode
was
3?
5.
Do you happen to know? Wow. So yeah, like definitely something to note. That particular part, that was like the bloodbath area. But shout out to anyone who knows about bloodbath, by the way, from Geometry Dash. So that is a level. Sorry, that is off topic. But it is important to note that when people watch the video, some people are going to look at that and be like, okay, that's bad track design. That all these marbles DNF at that point. There should be more sand padding or whatever it is that however they make those in order to keep that from happening. But I think the majority of people appreciate that part, to show that there is some natural difficulty to the track. And as Greg portrays when he does the commentary for those videos, he does a great job of flowing through there. He comments on the fact of that these DNFs, especially in that particular area, are showing how difficult that part of the track is, how tedious and just and even random that part of the track can be. As like you'll see marbles bump into each other, run up the side, or like that one time I think one of the marbles like ran up the side right in the middle of the helices, and then another marble bumped into it and just got stuck in a divot, and it was just that whole chaos in the middle there. I think that adds to the enjoyment, right? Adds to the enjoyment because it kind of adds an unknown factor. Even marbles like red number 3 and in race 3 DNF'd in that particular part. It was in that particular part,
Yeah,
right?
red number 3 DNF'd on one of the divided sections, like divided into 2 lanes. It wasn't one of the helices.
It was not in
No,
the
it was
helices.
not.
Do you remember Titan? Titan. Can't hear my boy. But yeah, I think that yeah, but either way, just parts of the track that even like the competitors that people see as godlike can DNF. It adds to the
Yeah.
track.
It
ability.
just shows that like the helices and those that's just one of those obstacles that doesn't like discriminate on types of marbles. So that's why I feel like it was a really good thing to include that. So it's fair for everyone.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. It kind of evens the playing field because it doesn't matter who you are. You could DNF there, and a lot of marbles that you wouldn't expect that are seen as good competitors did DNF in that particular situation, which is something to note. But yeah, I think that's a good point. What else, guys? What else happened in race 4? I'm just trying to think back to the race. I had watched it a few days ago. I know our picks.
El Capitan
El Capitan
did a really good job.
I was very, very happy for El Capitan, particularly because El Capitan is one of MSWP's 4 draft picks for the Sand Marble Rally. We had El Capitan, Slimer, Crazy Cat's Eye, and Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And both Slimer and El Capitan did well in the previous race. A surprising finish.
Yes.
But definitely a good one. But something I do want to comment on, actually, while I'm thinking about it, is I think the track creation is getting better from the JMR standpoint. Because I remember Slimer in race 4 started out in first and had a huge lead in first place for most of the race. Okay? The majority. But then made a mistake or went through approached a difficult part of the track wrong, and ended up actually dropping all the way back to second or third, I don't know, but definitely like marbles from the back that were quite a far bit behind ended up catching up. And it shows that the track is very fair and very difficult because normally in other races, old races, once a marble got that kind of distance out in front, it's over. Okay, that is the end. That marble rarely ever drops back behind first. So I think the tracks are getting fairer. What do you think on this, Mr. Titan?
Well, I mean, I kind of like it this year because it's just shown that the tracks he's made them so that like it makes the races more intense, which makes them more fun to watch from a fan standpoint, and just keeps it more entertaining as a whole.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah, I guess the one thing that there's still fun, but like as a personal, I guess, criticism, quote unquote, I feel some of them feel a bit too samey, because while they are still difficult and they produce different results, like the helices and the curve and stuff are all are like at the very least incredibly similar, if not exactly the same as the previous track designs from the past, and so. I know it's hard to innovate something that's very this simple, but without adding obstacles, which the fans weren't too happy with, having all the obstacles that they added in one of the previous seasons. So I think trying to find ways to make even more unique sand course designs, to maybe make it to spice it up. And I get it. It's hard. I personally can't think of too many if the sand's strong enough or the right type of sand, maybe you can make sand that goes under tracks to go under the ground, basically diverging paths that go upwards and under, they make small sand bridges and stuff like that, something to make it maybe these aesthetically look more unique and like. Admittedly, I know it's very hard like to try, especially like with like how long the courses are. Because like if I'm not mistaken, they use most of that sand hill in the videos. So like it's long, it's pretty long, and like trying to find a way to innovate it that doesn't like I guess screw it up can be hard. But like I would hope that eventually like we can get some more unique course designs coming in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with this. The difficulty, like you said, is that it is so simple. You are working with sand, and sand alone, and so to just kind of build random things off of it is actually quite difficult. But I think that's something that hopefully will develop over time. I know that they did kind of increase some of the from the differences that they had that booster pad and that like other chevron that like spins around as you hit it. So it kind of increases some of the chaos within the within the race. But I think it would be cool to have like some tunnels, some bridges, maybe some other terrain, that you can kind of add to it, and things like that. But that's something you have to really consider, something you have to really think about, because you don't want to add something and it be kind of an overdoing of the simplicity.
Right.
And then all of a sudden fans are like, "Oh, I hate it now. It looks like, it looks like all modernistic, I mean, it looks terrible." Because they like the classicness of the sand race. So I don't know what JMR's plan is, but it seems like they're doing it in such small increments that it doesn't seem to be like a huge change. So maybe that's a good thing.
And something that you mentioned.
Anything on this Titan?
Or actually, I'll let Titan speak first.
So what you're saying, so if you guys watched back in 2017 and 2016, there was like a lot of unique track portions, such as like little funnels that would spiral out, and then they had like the bridges where you could fall off or cross on them. I feel like if you brought those back with a few extra twists, then we might see some more uniqueness to this year. But overall, I'm still pleased with it.
Yeah. I think that's the thing with a lot of fans. Sorry, Miss Waffle, I'll let you go in a second, but it's just there is something to be said. Like Greg said on the one podcast he did with the Triowa podcast, there's something to be said for the simplicity of just a sand race. The Marble Olympics Marble League gets all crazy with the different events, surfing, rafting, blah, 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 go on and on. But the Sand Rally keeps it simple, like some classic racing. Now, I think when they add Marbula 1, which is coming, by the way, very soon, we had our first 2 reveals on teams. When it's added, and then you have another race thing and it's a loop track, you need to do something to Sand Marble Rally to really differentiate it, so it's not too generic racy things. You know what I'm saying? You got to start to mix up.
Right, I gotcha.
Some of the things, because you're adding 2 racing series now. But anyway, whatever you're gonna say, Waff, go ahead.
Honestly, you kind of basically just said exactly what I was gonna say. Like the fans, like we talked about it on the podcast, I think, or if not on the podcast, just off the air, like how like there was like the fans like did like for a certain degree actually kind of prefer a lot of the fans. I think it was a wow. I'm sorry, I'm keep saying the same words over and over again. I believe it was on the episode either with Melikis or with Hershey on whatever episodes where we actually talked about how they actually preferred Sand Marble Rally because of how simple it was. Like it's just a standard race. Like it's easy to just get into that. Even though the view numbers do not show an indication that it is more popular, a lot of the fans, at least that we've talked with, actually like kind of liked that simplicity.
Including me.
Yeah.
Yes, including Titan. And Pax as well.
Yeah, that's good, yeah. Oh, yeah, Pax is like a huge fan. Oh, yeah, we were supposed to have him on, too. We'll get to that. Because Pax is a huge fan of the Sand Marble Rally. One of his particular favorite Gels Marble Runs productions. Because it is something about the simplicity, just the pure racing, of the whole thing.
And like
that pulls them in.
And like we gotta really get into like it's technically Marble Rally now, and like because they are. I'm pretty sure we talked with Melikis about this, but like they are planning on doing different track types. So like it's not gonna just be sand anymore. So I guess like in the future there's gonna be more options for more unique tracks possibly. Like if
are we sure?
I could have sworn that that's what someone like That's what they said.
I feel like we said that, and then we.
Well, I mean,
I think we said that.
Well, I mean, the name's changed to just Marble Rally. It's like sand is no longer an identifying factor with it. So maybe I am misremembering, and I don't actually remember hearing it from him specifically, but I could have sworn that at least someone, either in the JMRC or Melica specifically, said that there are going to be different types of tracks in the Marble Rally, hence the reason why it's just called Marble Rally now instead of Sand Marble Rally.
Maybe, because I think we had postulated that. That's a good word. But didn't actually know if that's the case, because we figured that that's why they changed it, but with no facts to back that up. So we'll have to see what happens. If you have ideas on what they could do, of course, shout them out. But yeah, that's cool. Race 4, guys. I mean, obviously, it's just one race in a huge tournament, so there's not overly million things to talk about. There's no O'Rangers getting stuck at the top of the funnel spin and things like that. And it is simple, but it's good to take a few minutes and analyze that. A lot of DNFs, so I think the chaos is good. But I think that we could move on to the trivia segment. How about that, guys?
All right.
And to honor our guest here, Titan, why don't you start us off with your trivia question?
All right, so I have said this before on a few servers. I discussed this with someone on the Gels Marble Run server, but so here it is. So which team in Marble League A-League history has had the lowest points per event total?
The lowest points per event, the total of all the seasons added together.
Average. So
average.
Which team in the A League has had the lowest points per event average?
So you're saying over all 4 years, which?
So basically, you take one season and you take the team's total points and divide them by the total events.
So are you talking about a specific season, or just out of all 4, which specific team from what specific season?
Just in all 4 seasons, yeah.
So are you wanting 4 answers, one for each season, or one to cover the whole?
Just one to cover it all.
I'll go first. You go first, Waff.
I'm thinking back to that graph thing, that we had way back when that showed all the total points. So while Oceanics did bad this year, they had a 3rd place finish during one, and I think it's season or the 2017 or 2018 year. So it's not them, despite their incredibly poor performance. Part of me wants to say Jungle Jumpers just because of how bad they were, but they didn't even qualify, if not mistaken, for 2018, so they don't even have points. So unless of course that counts as averaging as a 0, that's then. That they technically haven't competed enough to where we could average a little, because they did really bad in 2017, but then they also did they didn't okay this year, right? What did the place did Jungle Jumpers get? Was 7th?
Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention one thing. It is including 2016 scores adjusted to the current scoring system.
Oh, well, I don't even know what that means. So.
Okay, well.
It was a lot less. The top team got 8 points for winning an event back in 2016, and it was just a lot. The top team had 44 points, I think.
Okay. I mean, this is so did you do a guess, Mr. Waff?
No, I didn't.
Did you make a final guess? Yeah, this is not an easy question. It's a good one, though.
So, Pinkies, I know, is infamous for being a very low-performing team. And
yeah.
I don't think Thunderbolts has ever done really that great either.
They did great the first year. Everyone loves to say that. But I haven't seen them. I actually did not bad this past year, but, not great either. Okay, so I know we had a question a while ago that asked which team had the longest, there was one team that had 4 events in a row, and their net total from that was -2 or something. Someone had explained
that was primary. I think.
Oh, but that was in the B League, right?
That was A League.
Oh,
this was before Showdown.
Well, then actually, that I want that to be my guess. I feel like a -3 over 4 events gives good possibility for that to be the answer. So I'm going to go team primary, and I'll throw in a second guess just because there's such a wide net of possibilities. I think that I'd say we might have seen something like this from the Limers. I think I'm going to go Limers or primary. Why don't you throw two guesses out there?
All right,
we'll
I'll let
see.
you just let us know that Thunderbolts are still 4th place of all time, so that's not and I can pick them anymore. That's for sure.
Yeah, well.
Pinky is like I think is a good guess for my main guess, and like I guess like if I had to go with secondary guess, Jungle Jumpers.
All right. Well, I think those are all 4 good guesses. Let's see what it is.
The actual answer is the 2019 Oceanics.
Wait, really?
Wow.
Yeah, they averaged
Too obvious, I guess.
4.375 points per event, and it was 70 points over 16 events.
Wait. Oh, wait, we're picking a specific year?
No, it was over every single year.
So that 1 year made their average drop that low?
Well, it's not. So it's taking their results from one single season, but it applies to all teams from every year.
Oh, what? Oh, that's crazy.
I
didn't know.
I didn't think I understand that question. Like, wait, were they taking their placements and averaging them out, or their total points and averaging it out?
Total points. He said that.
So basically what I'm saying is that, so the Oceanics competed in 2017, 2018, and 2019, so they will have an average points per event from 2017, because that's how it works. They have an average from 2018, and they have an average from all of their competitions in 2019.
Right.
And in 2019, they had the worst points per event of any team over any year.
Oh, so
yeah, so like the Oceanics 2019 point average over events was the lowest of all time.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about which team had the lowest average point total from all of them combined. That's what I thought you meant.
Oh, no.
No, why would you think that?
Because that's what it sounded like to me.
Well, that wouldn't make any sense, Waf.
It's a confusing question.
Not all No, it's not. Waf is just not thinking. It's getting late over there for him. What is it, 8 o'clock for you? That's pretty late. Sorry, I'm just really ripping you right now, but it's funny. But like, think about it. Not all teams have competed.
Yeah,
all
but
4
that
years,
doesn't
so
matter.
for
You
him
still
to-
average them out with the few years they have competed.
But it wouldn't make as much sense. It wouldn't be as accurate. It wouldn't make as much sense. I think it makes a lot more sense the way he phrased it and the way I answered it. I just got it wrong. I just thought the answering Oceanics would be too obvious, right? Because that's like what first thing you think of, no Oceanics, right? But I mean, then again, they performed so bad. I have nothing to say on that. But I don't know. That was a cool question, though. No Oceanics, guys. No Oceanics. Definitely. I mean, not as bad as the Limers, in all honesty, but damn, just a terrible performance. Waf, you throw us your question.
All right, so for this year of Marble Rally, there have been a lot of DNFs, and one marble in particular has DNF the most. Who is it, and how many DNFs do they have?
Oh, I think I know this. We'll let Titan go first.
I gotta think about this. So you're saying just from this year?
Yeah, just for this year. Out of the 4 events, who has had the most DNFs, and how many have they been?
Are we counting the Ghost Marble?
Ghost Marble, if you want to count it, sure.
Which means it's not the answer.
Alright, I'm gonna go with H2 Blue with 3.
Oh, wow, that's not my guess, but that's actually a good guess. It's a good guess. I'm gonna go with Black Knight at 3.
All right. Has everybody put their guesses in? Okay, so the answer is Black Knight with 3. I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
I knew it.
I thought H2 Blue only had 2. But S-Man says they might have been tied. Let's see here. H2 Blue got a DNF in 4.
I'm pretty sure they only
I'm
had
pretty
2.
sure they only had 2. Let me check real quick. So season 4 they had.
Hey, you were close though. That was a good guess.
Yeah. So he was guessing. Okay. So yeah. So H2 Blue only DNF'd in 4. They did not. They did not DNF in 3, and then just gotta check the only one more to make sure. In race 2,
I don't think they DNF more than been twice. But I remember Black Knight.
H2 Blue did not.
And
Yeah,
H2
H2 Blue did not even DNF in race 2. So even if they DNF'd in event 1, that's still only 2. So Black Knight currently has the most DNFs at 3.
Yeah.
I just guessed H2 Blue because of how low his points total is this year.
Oh,
They did.
that's smart.
I'm pretty sure they
That's
did DNF 2 times, but like, so they're doing pretty bad as well. But Black Knight is somehow doing worse, at least in terms of DNFing. They probably, I think they're ranked higher now, right?
Yeah, I think they had one good race, or maybe 2. Or no, they do. If they DNF 3 times, they might have only
Yeah,
had one.
H2 Blue's at the very bottom. Black Knight's at 13th right now.
I guess they had a really good second race then.
I guess so.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
second place.
Anyways, yeah, did they? They got second place in race 2? Well, good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. Guess that makes up for it. Anyways, anyway, I have a trivia question from S-Man ML Facts because I didn't come up with one. I had one from last week. Power went out. I was going to reuse it, but it's just, it doesn't apply as well. His question, and so I don't know the answer either, is what year of the ML is the only year where every team earned at least one medal? And,
I think I know
so I'll
this.
take a guess. Let's all throw some guesses out there. I feel like the most likely for this would be 2016.
Yeah, 2016 is my guess as well.
My guess is 2017.
Yeah, all right. So, I have the answer. Let me check. It's a cool question. 2016. 2016.
Nice.
I figured because there were less teams that year, so it would be more likely.
I just remember 2017
Probability,
being
my boys.
a closer year.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was a good year, but it was more teams. So, like, it was harder for every team to get the medal, as well as, because I think they went to 16 teams but kept 12 events. They didn't go to 16 events till 18 or 19. So I think that will affect
I
it.
think it was the 16 events started in 2018.
Okay, yeah. So that was, what? I thought it started in,
16 events started this year.
Oh, did it? Oh, so they. Oh, yeah, so
Yeah.
there's. So
what?
okay.
No, S-Man says every team has the same amount of teams, every year had the same amount of teams competing. I thought there were only 12 teams that competed in 2016.
No,
Or maybe
there
was
are
that the only
16.
year that had 12 events? What? Oh, I guess we're going to have to hear what I did wrong there. Marbles, guys. See, this would be a great time to do an advertisement if I had an advertiser yet, but I don't. So, yeah. We'll get one.
I guess just to fill the void here, S-Man seems very crazy about the fact that Pollo Loco's name translates to crazy chicken. For anybody who doesn't know,
That was one of his facts.
for anyone who doesn't know didn't take Spanish, Pollo Loco translates to crazy chicken.
Apparently, every year's had 16 teams, and then the first year that didn't have 12 events was this year, which had 16. So, yeah, I guess I was wrong. And I guess the only reason that this year did not have everyone getting a medal is because the Oceanics were so bad that they could barely even get the top half. How did I not know that? I don't know, okay? I mean, I don't even know how to answer this.
It's been a while.
but-
I haven't gone back to watch the old season, because the oldest year, 2016. While it's historic, it's not the best. It's not as good as the future seasons. I don't feel a need to go back and rewatch them.
Yeah, I agree with this.
And if I'm being honest here, probably the biggest weakness of marble racing content is that after
Wait.
What?
This is great. So S-Man puts in the chat, I'm disappointed. Well, you know what? I'm disappointed that you spelled disappointed wrong. Ha ha.
All right,
I win.
can I get back to my point real quick?
Because it has one S. No, you can't. I'm talking about something completely unimportant. So I have
Under two P's and disappointed as well.
Disappointed has one S, and whatever other spelling parts there are, I didn't even look. I just saw there's only one S. So yeah, there's just some pretty disappointing things going on. And Mr. Waff has an actual comment, but I had to cut in with this unimportant. situation. Anyway, go ahead.
All right, so basically, the weakest element of marble sports and racing and stuff like that is that after your first viewing, it loses a lot of its luster. It's similar to like how in like TV shows and movies, you can't really replicate the feeling you get when you first watch it, because afterwards you know everything's gonna happen. And so like in sports, part of the tension is like not knowing how it's gonna end up. And so even like for instance, I rewatched Marble Mayhem season 2 once because I remember I loved it a lot. But, like even though it was really good and it was so perfect how it all worked out, it wasn't as fun going back through it because I knew how it all played out. It's not as fun on rewatching because it's just not as entertaining. Like with movies and stuff, even like you don't. There are deep thematic themes that can keep you interested, but with marble racing, it's just marbles competing in a sport, and it's kind of like you don't rewatch old sporting events that you've seen before, and like, oh man, this is just as exciting as the first time. Like maybe a few key moments are exciting because they're game changing moments, both for that game and maybe even for the entire sport. But you don't watch the entire competition with like great interest. Like, oh man, like you got to watch that like one sack that such and such did on that one play or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. I understand that. Definitely agree. Because I love Marble Olympics, which is league now. Count how many times I've made that mistake, right? I love it. It's great. It's amazing, right? And I love Sand Marble Rally. And
going back to what Mr. Woff said about the
all right, right in the middle of my comment.
How they lose their appeal sometimes, like as it goes on. 2016 was like the most special finale because I don't know if you guys remember this, but event 12 was hurdles, and it was the top 4 marbles in the competition who all had a chance at winning. They made it to the final heat, and there was like a photo finish, and it ended up being the Savage Speeders by like 1,000th.
That was a good moment.
Oh, so close to the winner, yeah.
Like that's kind of like the thing. Like it's a great moment, but like you don't really remember or are very interested like the rest of it. You know, like you only remember like that one crucial moment.
Yeah.
It's gonna be weird when people listen to this because like I was like saying how I love Marble Rally and Marble League, and I didn't ever finish that comment because you had like that was funny. But to finish what I was saying, sorry, it was kind of cringy for me, but I love those things, but I can't watch them more than once because I know what's gonna happen. So the only way I watch them more than once is if I'm sharing it with someone else. So, for example, I watched 2018, and then I watched all of 2018 again with a bunch of friends that I got involved in it, who enjoyed it. So I was able to watch it again. But, like, by myself, I probably couldn't watch it again. Sorry that we kind of started and finished in that comment. That was weird. Okay, anyway, yeah, but that's important, too, what Titan said. This 2016 finale was actually very, very interesting. It got so close at the end. Anyway, I don't even know where I'm at. I'm confused. I'm trying to do 2 conversations at once, and that was confusing. But anyways, we should move on to another topic. How about that? We've done all the trivia. And Titan, do you have any topics you want to discuss? Or we'll just move it on anyway?
Not really. I mean, it's almost been 40 minutes, so I gotta go pretty soon. But yeah, we might be able to do like one quick topic.
All right. Well, we always want to hear the fan opinions. So we want to ask, who do you think is going to win Marble League 2020? This is obviously a very early prediction, but we always like to just hear these initial names being thrown out there, and hear what people have to think.
All right. So I'm making a bold prediction that 2020 is actually going to be the first year that we have a repeat champion. And I think that it might be. I have a strong feeling that it's going to be the Savage Speeders.
Oh, okay.
You going speeders? You going speeders?
As much as I don't want to.
As much as you don't want to. A bandwagoner that's reluctant. A reluctant bandwagoner. Isn't that MFA? Didn't he say that's what he was?
Well, I'm not bandwagoning.
Team
That's just my
Galactic probably won't
prediction.
win.
I don't like the
Yeah,
speeders.
he doesn't like them. This is
Yeah. But also, the bandwagon team's the Rangers anyway.
Wait.
I love how you're like, wait, I'm confused.
whatever. Bandwagoning is like rooting for a team that is like popular
Because they're good.
But predicting a team that for instance, like the Blue Devils are like in the marching band world are the best, statistically the best marching band in the world. And
The Marching Band Worldwide podcast.
And so it's like if you root for them, like you might be just because like they're the winners, and that's considered bandwagoning.
That's true. A lot of people do that. But yeah, that's a cool prediction. I think it would be cool to see that first repeat. I think it would be more interesting for there not to be a repeat and see how long we go without a repeat, and then see who can get that repeat. I don't think the Savage Beaters will win. I think this
so.
will be the first. What?
Again, it is very early on, so like my opinion might change like after Marbula 1.
Oh yeah, after Marbula 1, and especially after those qualifiers.
Yes.
The qualifiers are the key moment to observe, okay? Because let me tell you what, all I was able to come up with, all the predictions I was able to give about the Green Ducks was only from seeing them in the qualifiers. And by observing their motion and the way they moved, I was able to actually predict pretty closely what they did. I said they were going to be like a top 5 or something, and they ended up top 2. I even predicted them to be a win. I picked them for my fantasy team, and they were very, very close to what I had said. So definitely the observation during the qualifiers is crucial in making a good prediction. And by the way, this is one of the first times that we will see the Savage Beaters. Actually, this may be the only time that we'll ever have seen the Savage Beaters in a qualifiers, because they got first in the first year, second in the last 2016, 17, and 18. So this is the first year we will ever see Savage Beaters be competing in the qualifiers.
That's true.
Which I think is important to note. And it's the only team, by the way, that can claim that situation, because all other teams, that's the only team that's never finished under the top 5. So that's something important to note, definitely, and we'll have to see how it goes. Mr. Waff, you want to throw a name out there?
This might be like more like who I want to win, but like I want to say Momo. Like I know that's statistically speaking they aren't. But like I always will root for Momo. Like first and foremost, Momo is my first pick always and forever. But I guess if you want to go statistically, I would probably say Green Ducks, just because like they did such a great performance this year, and so I imagine like statistically speaking, the team with the highest chance of winning to me would be Green Ducks. But Momo has really been turned itself around during Showdown. Like it was some of the best performances I'd seen from Momo, I think, since 2016, and so I think Momo might finally be ready for that comeback story.
Really? A full win? Are you serious?
I'm a dreamer.
You are a dreamer. I don't know about Momo. I understand the bias because you're a fan of Momo, and I'm a fan. They're in my top 5 that top 5 that I have, because I don't like to assign my fan to one team. Because I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't as the podcast host. I should try to stay somewhat impartial, keep it more predictions based on the skill I see as opposed to who I like the best. But I definitely like Momo. And they did perform well in the qualifiers. The Snowballs and the Hornets performances were a little more impressive, and you know how it gets up there in the Marble Olympics, in the Marble League,
right?
How competitive it gets. We're talking, Momo's doing great, but like, remember how they did against Mellow Yellow and Rangers and Midnight Wisps and Savage Speeders. Just some of those teams are daunting, man. Daunting.
Right, but they just been on that downward spiral ever since Momo's injury, and like it just, to me, like this feels like this is probably the first few good performances that I've seen from them in so long. It's like it seems like they're actually trying to get to really get past those past mistakes and holdups.
Yeah, that's true. They did have a good comeback with the balancing.
Oh yeah,
event
that
as
was
well.
really great.
Oh, it was amazing. I would say that I'm gonna go mellow yellow on this. I'm gonna go mellow yellow all the frickin' way. I think that when you look back at their finishes, they're increasingly getting better. I think that they're overlooked and underrated. And I just think that there's a time for them. I think there's a time. Okay? Everyone's had their time, and Mellow Yellow is so consistent. I think it's gonna be their time. Okay? And I could be wrong, but it's a prediction. It's a prediction. It's not a truth. So I would watch out for them. Obviously, the Speeders are always a good pick. The Arrangers, I don't know about the Arrangers. They might come back super strong, or they might stagnate. Team Galactic, I'm not banking on them. A lot of pressure going to their stadium. Green Ducks, I am pretty sure they're not winning it. They're probably going to finish top half, but they're not. I don't think they're going to win it. Raspberry Racers, no, they're not that good. They're not good enough to actually win again. They're just not, especially with the new competition, Hornets, Snowballs, Momo, blah, 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 Rojo Rollers, even maybe a Hubalino team if they accidentally get a good win. Like, you're actually going to get some new players, and it's going to shake it up a bunch.
Can you imagine if a Hubalino team wins this year? Like,
if
the first time they
Hubalino
competed
team-
here, and they win it. Except Mini Maniacs raced like 2 years ago, but,
Like, Hubalino, Mini Maniacs were terrible. If a Hubalino
almost
team
won.
wins... Yeah, but right, Titan. But that's Hubalino, right?
Yeah.
That's not the level of competitive competition. Did I really almost say that? The level of competitiveness that comes with the Marble Olympics League. That's what I kept saying before. But yeah, I think that. I mean, if a Hubalino team wins, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. That's literally, in my opinion, not possible. But hey, we've seen more crazy things. We've seen the Limers get 2 points in 4 events, so that's like crazy.
that's true.
That's true. Anyway, Titan, it was good to have you on. It was good to hear your opinions and predictions. Any
Thank
final
you.
thoughts before you go?
Well, I said this in episode 4 when I guessed it before. Go Mellow Yellow. I like your prediction for them winning, and here's to a good 2020 season.
Here.
Here's to a good season as well. And guys, go check out his channel, by the way. The Lucky Titan does a Marble Sports channel, and it's pretty good. It's exciting. If you love the Marble Sports and you want to continue the experience, go check his channel out. Thank you for coming on. We enjoyed you giving your thoughts on the whole deal. And we'll continue on here for a couple. Actually, what time are we at? Let me check. We are at 48 minutes into the show. We got a couple minutes. Or we really could end it, but you know what? We got a couple minutes. MarbleCon 2025, maybe. I don't know. I just think we should devote an episode to that.
All right, well, thanks for having me
I
on.
think we should.
I'm going to go on now, so thank you for having me on,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Thanks for being here.
have fun with the rest.
All right, later, Titan.
All right. Have a great night, Mr. Titan. Yeah, so I think we could go on for a couple of minutes about MarbleCon 2025. That's always my fallback thing when there's nothing else to really talk about.
Before we do that, like, did you see Event 4 of Marble Mayhem yet?
I did not watch it. I'm sorry. I will get
By
to it.
the time
I
that we
will.
for the next episode, I think the episode 5 will be out, as well as okay, so timetable wise, there's gonna be a lot coming out, like because things were delayed like a lot longer than they were supposed to. So I think 1 week we're gonna have 3 new videos from MSPN. It's gonna be I think that's what you said, at least Marble Mayhem, M Games Event 2, and something else. I can't remember what the third thing was. I could be wrong. Maybe it's only 2 things now, but maybe he's got 2 events for Marble Mayhem ready. Who knows?
I would love a new M game,
Yes.
though. I mean, for real, man. And I'm excited for the new one. It's the Ram, the Ram swing or whatever.
Yes.
So that's going to be really fun, definitely. The creativity of the events, man, like it's so good. It's so good.
And I got as a
Okay.
patron, I'm gonna let you know right now. There was a very unique idea that was given at one point in the planning phase, and it's gonna happen for Event 3, and it is wild. This is gonna be a very, very unique event that you have never seen before. I can guarantee you
For
that.
Event 3.
Event 3 will be a very, very unique event.
That's going to be exciting. I'm glad. I'm glad that we're keeping it unique. I'm glad that we're shaking it up and keeping the chaos going with Marble M games. It gets so confusing, all the different Marble things in my head.
Oh, you know what the third thing might be? I don't know if
But-
PMA is going to be ready or not, but if there's a third video coming out, it might be PMA, but I don't think PMA is ready yet.
I would be so surprised if it's PMA.
Yeah,
Like,
it
there's
should-
no
it shouldn't
way
be ready
that's-
yet.
That's already coming out. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, we should devote an episode and talk about MarbleCon 2025. For those people who are confused on what the hell I'm talking about, is that we, or I at least, am living my life on the fact that the growth of this channel is not stopping now, and it will continue in the way it's been going over the last 4 years. And should that be the case, we're looking at into the millions of people come like 3 years from now. And once you get millions of people consistently interested in watching a specific thing, then often the next step is a convention, a meeting of some sorts to for all these excited fans to come together. I said this to Melicus. It was this MarbleCon 2025, just to put it out there. That was first my idea. I was the first person to pitch that idea in a random chat or whatever. I forget where I actually pitched that first. So that's mine. If it happens, credit it to Marvel.
I believe you.
I was the first one to say
I think
it.
you said it first in either episode 6 or 7, and then because Melkis listens to the episodes, I think like you talked to them about it. And he's like, that might be a thing.
Well, the way I remember it is that I said it to him as well. Because just as a joke, almost kind of, because it's so 2025 is quick 5 years out, and he was like, "That is not as unlikely as you might think." That's how he said, I think, or something like that. And I'm like, okay, because it isn't that unlikely. They have a big fan base. It's growing, guys, and it I think it's going to happen. And by the way, if it happens, I will be there, and there will probably be a live MSWP episode there, multiple of them, and just Jell will be there, Greg will be there, your favorite marbles will be there. I can't even express to you how insane a MarbleCon 2025 would be. I really cannot.
I love what you said, like your favorite marbles will be there, as if like they as people would be there, like to like sign autographs.
They will be.
Like, at the very least, I don't know if
Yeah.
we might not have a live show, but I think definitely at that point, if we went there, we'd probably have maybe at least a booth, right? I would say so.
Oh, we would have a live show. I mean, dude, it'd be 2025. If we're still doing this by 2025, dude, we'll have a live show. I would totally not.
Right,
doubt that.
I would think so too,
Because-
but just to I guess not give people's hopes up, because in the event like that we don't grow.
Dude, what do you mean you're not gonna be? This is like
I know,
5
but
years away.
I know.
Dude.
In the event that like that we don't grow at like a super huge rate, or like we don't grow as much as we think we is, I think at the very least in 5 years we would have enough people to warrant having a booth at the con. If it happens.
Yeah, definitely, we would have a stand and everything, guys. And remember, just to clear up, this is me assuming and living as if the JMR is going to continue to grow in the way it's growing.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I'm saying that is because the quality is incredible, and most people when introduced to this are like hooked immediately. Like I've introduced this to many people. Most people are like, "Whoa, this is actually super cool," and like and it is unique. So I just think that it's a niche that has not been explored completely yet. And I just think that, hey, I'm assuming that this is based on the assumption that this channel is going to continue to grow, and we're going to be into the millions of viewers and subscribers come 2-3 years from now. which I think is possible.
Yeah.
And then there will be something of the sorts of a MarbleCon. And it will probably be in the Netherlands, Europe, but I will be flying there for this. I don't know. I'll swim there if I have to.
Yeah, like in 5 years, in 5 years I should already have I'd have my bachelor's. I think it'd be like a year after I get my master's. It wasn't I'm gonna go for that. So I think I should have a good enough job and to have the money if I needed to pay for my own ticket to go there. It's like I'd be willing to go.
We would get free
I'd be
tickets.
willing to go. I think it'd be very fun and very unique. I've never been to a convention before.
Well, we would probably not get free plane tickets, but we would definitely get free admission to the
Right.
convention.
I mean, I'd hope so. We've been here for so long, and like you're the
No, because we would be helping.
because you
plan
introduced the idea.
There's
It wouldn't exist without you.
like I would. Well, yeah. Well, they could totally steal MarbleCon 2025 from me, but like there's just no way that planning is happening without me. Not because they're forced to have me help plan. It's just that they're gonna need a ton of help to plan that. Do you know how hard it is to plan a convention?
Yeah,
Do you know how hard that is?
I've seen a lot of
There's
conventions
a ton
fail.
Of marketing things. There's an organization, and that's something you literally have to start planning a year before, and you need to have a ton of people doing a ton of stuff. In fact, I think there would be a lot more people involved in the planning of that than you would think. And, because we have the podcasts and content that the fans would want to enjoy. Because remember, not only do you have to plan that, but you also have to provide enough things at the convention to keep the fans interested. So one of them would be giving as much different content out there as you can. You would probably allow other good quality Marble channels to be there. You'd probably have JMR as the main exhibit, which a bunch of teams and booths for each team. But you'd probably also have MSPN have a booth because they're a big name. You'd have Marble Fubica have a booth if you know what I'm saying, to add to the content provided, and then maybe some little channels in there, and like amateurs pitching their things and the podcasts and the rollout if that's still going on. You'd have all those things because you want to provide as much entertainment as you can. There'd be some good Netherlandy food, which is fun, and that would probably be a live Marble Olympics, Marble League. They would probably be a live recording and presentation of it, and it'd be a lot of planning and
one thing that'd be cool, but one thing I think would be really cool is if some of the old innovators of this whole thing, the old Algadoo Titans, like Team Marble with Eric Facette, Jack Spiro, what was his other name? It was Eric Facette, Jack Spiro. I can't remember. One of the fourth members didn't post much, but then there was another one. Shoot, how did I forget their name? Like they actually posted fairly often. Like it was, wow. I'm sorry. I'm fumbling over. I'm
trying, though.
I'm like trying to fill the void as I go through YouTube to find their channel. Do. Wow. Okay, John Dubuck. That was his name, and I guess I think it was John Dubuck. He was the other on their team. They did they're probably the most prominent ones I remember, but they were also all inspired by a person named Carrick, who they don't do marble races anymore. They do other stuff, but it would be interesting to see some of those old innovators also there at the convention.
Algadoo would be fun, and I could even already foresee it. I can exhibit or a booth in which people could come up and drag pieces around and create their own little Algadoo things and race some marbles. I think there would be a booth that would have some real marble racing and some betting on it. You could stand there around the table all day and put bets down and watch the marbles race around. People would be sucked into that for years.
I can imagine. That's such a good idea.
There would be the main event. There would be a live podcast episode. There would be a meet and greet with Greg Woods, a meet and greet with Gel. There would be maybe some activities, some different you get some marble companies, that maybe help sponsor. You maybe have some a create your own marble thing, or something of the sorts, or just a bunch of different exhibits and a bunch of different activities, and it just go on forever, and people just enjoying the whole atmosphere of racing marbles and enjoying that. It would be great. It would be awesome.
The all-rounder
awesome.
was the other member of Team Marble that I was trying to find.
Cool. That's cool. So if you guys wanted to know that, there you go. Anyways, we should start to wrap it up. We have hit the hour mark of conversation.
Yes.
So this episode hopefully will keep in that 1:15 range we try to hit each time. I'm happy to have had the Titan on. It's good to hear other people's thoughts. And remember, guys, if you want to be in the episode 25 special, you can send a voice recording, 1 minute or less, talking about the podcast. You can email us what a description and episode number of maybe a favorite clip you had that we'll throw in there and shout you out for. And you can do all that to mswpodcast@gmail.com. If you don't have Gmail for whatever reason, then of course just send it to us as best you can. And we want your input. It will be a segment in the special if we get enough feedback. I think that's all for today, guys. We're going to be going to the outro here. And I'm just so excited for the episode 25 special, recounting the best of MSWP. Have a good week, everybody.